In today's Family Matters segment, an in-depth look at what volunteers face in Haiti. What we see on our TV cannot really compare to what those on the ground are dealing with. And here to tell us about their experiences, please welcome Medical Teams International volunteers David Michael Smith and Kathi McCoy. Nice to have you both here. Kathi, we'll start with you. You both just got back. When were you there?
We returned on Friday. We were there for a week.
And you decided after the earthquake to go over there and help out. What did you see when you got there?
What we saw is not conveyed accurately in the press, in that it's so much more epic than the press can convey. It's been sanitized. The amount of crush injuries and open wounds and infection and suffering is beyond articulation. And the amount of looting and violent behavior was absolutely not observed by us. So I've seen flashes of people having blood on their T-shirts from having fought over a boombox. Never saw anything but people suffering with the kinds of injuries that in the United States of America, regardless of your socioeconomic standing, you would be in a surgical intensive care unit on a morphine drip. And these people were lying in the sun, in the dirt, with open wounds and infection, and not complaining.
I've got to believe that this trip changed your life.
Yeah, I think there was more in Haiti than I had bargained for. I went down primarily as a video documentarian of what Medical Teams International was about. And the first day I was there, I flew in with a team of orthopedic surgeons, and electricity was sporadic in this hospital that we were working in. So, you know, I held a flashlight while they amputated legs and so on.
Oh my gosh.
And I was really not psychologically or emotionally prepared for that. But again, you know, to back up what Kathi said, people were so, like this young man in particular will haunt me forever. 25 years old, you know, he wept and begged that we not remove his leg, but he resigned himself to the need for that to save his life. And they were all so grateful for our presence there. They were so stoical. I drove all around Port-au-Prince and, again, never saw any of the things which, unfortunately, some of the international media may focus in on an event that's true, but that one event is not representative of everything that's going on. You know, for that one event of perhaps violence or disturbance, there may be 10,000 other stories of sharing, compassion, love, people helping one another.
You said that young man touched you dramatically. So he begged not to have the leg amputated, and yet in order to save his life, you had to do that. You watched as this happened. How was he afterwards?
It was, and that's the thing I think that will haunt me forever, is that he probably assumed I was a physician because I was in the OR during the entire procedure.
You did what you had to do. You helped out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he leaned up as he came out of the anesthesia, and he speaks Creole, not English, but he knew enough to say, thank you, I love you. And after an event like that, when someone thanks you for, you know, removing their leg, how can it not affect you? How can it not broaden your perception of human suffering and fire your desire to do more? And this will go on for years, and that's one thing we want to emphasize.
Well, and what I want to ask you, whenever there's a disaster here, we'll call it a disaster here, and I'm going to use examples of storms and flooding in the Portland area, we get phone calls from relatives around the country. Are you okay? Because it looks on the news to be devastating, when in fact it's very isolated, and oftentimes very few people are exposed. What do you see in Haiti? Is it as widespread as I can imagine that it is?
It is. We had an opportunity one day, my videographer and I, to travel with some of the MTI team who were moving further out into the countryside to see if they could establish some more medical facilities. And the devastation, there was no way to, you know, have it register. It just kept going on and on and on. There must be 320 some odd impromptu camps of people who've just thrown blankets and plastic tarps up, no water, no electricity, these crush wounds that Kathi was talking about that will need long-term care. Yes, it's beyond comprehension. The physicians that I was with said they've never seen a disaster quite this large before.
Kathi, how do you want people to help? How do you want our viewers to help?
People need help now. The Medical Teams International, it works with all the NGOs, the 10,000 on the ground, and they are highly, highly respected. We were providing millions of dollars worth of care immediately with our crack team of medical volunteers.
We will put a link on our website to your website so people can continue to help out. Thank you both for sharing that part of the story. For more information, you can help organize your own work in Haiti, including Medical Teams International. Head to our Family Matters section at KATU.com. We'll be right back.